Was just thinking the real truths about starting a business that creates money and freedom. And that's something I've been thinking about because there's all these advertisements on Facebook about starting businesses, getting leads, and all this other stuff, but no one ever uses these words sustainable, where you can grow your business, make money year after year after year after year. And I started to think about why is that the case? Why is everything geared toward people who are not trying to make some money? Why are they geared toward people who are not blowing the business out the water? Why is it geared toward people who are not really interested in the rigors of starting a business? And I've been giving a lot of thought about that. And part of it is many people are not really interested in starting a business. They want the perks, they want the accoutrements, they want the lifestyle, they want the money, but miss me with that work. And if this is your first time here, this is Glendon Cameron, your hustling godfather. What we do with this channel is provide information on money management and business development. Because any money management course or information that doesn't deal with taxation is incomplete. Because for most of you, i.e., people with jobs, taxes are your biggest expense. You don't even see it that way because no one's broke it down and explained it to you in that manner. But back to the business building. What do you got to do? Because you're looking at a minimum of 3 years for you to start a business that's making crazy money, that's blowing it out. That's rare. That's not normal. Normally, you're looking at 5 to 7 years or 7 to 10 years before you get to that level. So to do it in 3 years is not the norm. And I think that journey, that pathway is very daunting. I think that journey, that pathway is somewhat hard for people to wrap their heads around because people don't understand how long they're going to live. You know, if you're 30 something and in good health, chances are you're going to make it to 80 something or 90 something or 100. So there is this lack of looking at starting a business, looking at these 5, 7, 10 years is like, that's too long, man. But you will work a job that will never ever provide you the comfort, the freedom, or the income of a business for 30, 40 years. That immediate gratification, that having money, we got to deal with immediate gratification. We've got to deal with instantaneous results. This isn't a cup of coffee that you're sticking in the microwave. This is a complex ecosystem with many moving parts. Because many people's like, what's the what's the best piece of advice you can give me? One piece. Typically, a business has many moving parts that must work together well for you to make that money. So it's not just one thing, it's several different things. And the first fundamental truth is I don't care what kind of business you're in, you need to learn how to deal with people. whether it's customers, vendors, partners, you need to learn how to deal with people. I mean, there's this fantasy of working in the room, putting out product, never talking to anyone. And you could do that to a point. You could do that and make some money, but your business is never going to be as big as it could be. This is one of the truths of starting a business. You got to learn how to deal with people. You got to learn how to deal with employees. You got to learn how to deal with a family. Because once you start a business, everybody has these erroneous assumptions, especially if your business is new. Like, if you got your business up, you got your name on the side of trucks, and people, they like you rich because you got a business. And then they'll start asking you to do certain things, or they'll start asking you for money, and you like, I can't do that. It's like, well, man, Mr. Businessman, you got that business, your name on trucks, player. Can't you break me off $5,000? And I'm gonna talk about friendship here really quickly. I'm the type of friend that don't want to ask you for nothing. I will work 7 ways from Sunday to figure out how to get this myself versus asking you for some money or asking you for some help. That's the kind of friend I am. And it's just a matter of personal pride and then having the ability to take care of myself. So you got a lot of people who don't have this level of personal pride. They don't have this kind of ego that they will like I remember Chris Rock was saying, you get to talk. It's like they don't even bother you up anymore. It's like, hey, Chris, can I get 5, 10, 20, 15 grand? Because there's this funny thing that humans do to other humans. He has it. It looks easy. So he should give it to me. And this is one of the things you see online consistently with people. Like, you'll see this person. They'll have this meme and, looking for people to be there for them. Why don't you stop fucking up in life so people don't have to be there for you? I remember having this conversation with someone who was saying, like, my mother's been there for me. It's like, why do you keep fucking up that she has to be there for you? And the phone grew quiet. Because once again, I'm the type of friend that I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to bring undue stress in your life. I don't want to call you with a bunch of needs. But some people just don't have that level of etiquette that they will dump all their problems on you and bring everything to you. So you have these things. So another fundamental truth of business is once you look like you're successful, your friends and family's assumptions about you will change. They will think that you can do things you potentially can't, or they think you should do things that you may not agree with. So that's another thing. Another fundamental truth of business is you will work harder for a period of time. And let's talk about this. You're going to work very hard getting your business off the ground. That's just facts. But at some point, it's going to even out, depending on what you're doing, how you got it set up. If you have KPIs, because this is one of the reasons that most businesses stay small. The owners never put in systems and processes. They just go ahead and just run their business off of gut instinct. They make decisions off of how they feel versus data. So they never really grow because you got yourself, it's like, why is this company only 5 employees and this company has 500, 600, 700 employees? The difference is systems and processes. I guarantee you, in the owner. So a big part of this is understanding what you're doing and understanding the people around you, because once you get this business gone, people will look at you differently. And you will have some people who will surprise you in a pleasant way. You'll have someone in your crew who's going to be so proud of you, and they're going to tell you, and you're just going to figure like, well, we weren't even that close. I didn't even know it was like that. And then you will have some people you feel that will support you, that they're going to be drinking from the cup of haterade. Why him? Why she got that? How come I don't have it? Could be you don't put in work. You don't do the work. Because this is something that's just true, even of these young internet entrepreneurs. They work a lot. They work a lot. Even when they're on vacation, they still working. And this is something that many people just want to get the business, get the money so they can chill and lay out with Big Booty Betty, lay out with the fam. And it don't work like that. Because once you get to a certain level in business, you get this fear, because you start off here, then you get here, and here is really, really nice. And you don't want to go back to that. So you have this fear of like, whoa, I got to keep doing this. I don't want to go back to driving a Honda. I don't want to go back to living in a bad neighborhood. I don't want to go back. There's so many things that happen that you fundamentally change, that you start putting in the work of your business, that you start going balls out. Because even with the young internet entrepreneurs, they work so much. And a lot of people just look at them and they're like, you just chilling. Like, I'm in the Facebook ads course right now, and it's kicking my butt. Some of these kids right here, they're very proficient with Facebook ads. And you got to have a high degree of proficiency with Facebook ads, because a lot of people run ads and they don't make any money because they don't get any no return. They run ads, they spend their money, they'll make one sale, because these people, they know how to go in, set up the Facebook ad, but they don't know how to make it pop. And I can tell you from this course I'm taking, there's a lot to it. I mean, it gets deep. Christian Anderson, most haters don't understand what it takes to start and run the business, nor do they care. They don't care, man. They just over there drinking their haterade, talking nonsense about you, because they can't figure it out. They can't put the pieces together. I see profits. The last 2 years of business felt a lot like running in place, but now my cup is overflowing. A lot of haters nowadays, but it's all good. I worked hard for my haters. Surely you did. One of the reasons that I have so many haters, that they'll actually friend me on Facebook, and then they will get disturbed by the content I put on my personal Facebook page. Then we would get into it. And it's a crazy, crazy thing. I'm not telling you what course I'm taking. I'll be that dude. It's about $2,500. I'll tell you that much. So one of the things is, you got to understand, business is a process, and it's a process of self-discovery. And I talk about the framework, and money, income and profits should be fixed today. That's what I'm told. And many of you, who you can go in and log in on the Teachable website to get to the course. I don't know what happened. It's just crazy. Tim Festers, one of the best things I learned from you that you will never find a hater doing better than you. They're too busy hating to be successful. Too busy talking trash. Too busy trying to get into physical altercations. I had one dude, he's like, if we were in the same space, you. I'm like, why are you trying to take this physical? That's just how intimidated he was by me, that he had to try to shift it to what he thought was to his side, except he didn't know how big I am. I mean, Tim Fitzgerald is correct. See, successful people are not haters. You could get on a plane, you could be running, you could be in first class, you have a conversation with another business owner, no hate, no hate. Oh, you got this business, this is what we're doing, this is what you're doing. They'll drop a little game, talk, because they know the walk. They know how hard it was for them to build something. So when you get to a certain level and you reel and you talk the talk and you know what you're talking about, the appreciation is so deep. But if you're dealing with haters or people who have put their life into a situation where you know the rich people of Atlanta, one of the first comments is like, you can get these same houses cheaper, 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 same neighborhoods, which was a lie. You can get a similar house, you can get it cheaper, but it won't be the same neighborhood. It'll be the hood. Because typically, and I have looked, you'll have this nice neighborhood here, hood, 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 nice neighborhood, hood, hood, hood. So you're not getting the same neighborhood. And one of the things that happens is you're not getting the same caliber of person to network with. You're just not getting that. But why did this person go, I can get it cheaper? Because they don't feel that they can earn the money to get a house in this neighborhood. This is where there was someone who's like, hey, move from Sandy Springs to Decatur because I wanted to be around more black people. Forget the $500 to $800 differential in rent prices. They ain't nothing to do with it. I do have some direct competition that hates on me. I think they see me as a threat, though. Hey, Eric Williams only ride first class. Now, major difference. Oh, you got to level up, Eric. I agree on classes and coaching. Spent over 45K so far this year. That's an investment in yourself. That's an investment in your future. Because why try to figure stuff out when you can hire someone that's already figured out and drastically flatten out your learning curve? Because like this Facebook course is really expensive, Facebook ads course, and there's some other stuff I'm getting ready to do. Because some of the stuff that I learned, I'm getting my Facebook page popping. Oh, financial education is everything. And once again, anyone that talks to you about finances but doesn't mention tax management is giving you an incomplete financial lesson. Because for most people, that's one of the largest expenses you have, especially if you're an employee. So, a big part of this is if you want to grow a large business, you can, or you can grow, or you keep your business small. Because this is where most business owners are. No one can do it like me. So you'll have this guy who's a killer salesperson. So he's the best salesperson in his company. He makes most of the sales. But see, this is another truth that many business owners miss. You should be trying to make yourself obsolete in your company as quick as possible. You don't want to be the best salesman. You want someone else to occupy that role. Your job is to be Geppetto and have Pinocchio on the strings. And this is something because you can't manage if you're doing it all. You just can't. And this is another problem between a larger business and a bigger business. Because currently I have a small business and I have 2 employees. And I've been thinking, because I've got really good cash flow, no debt. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So, like, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to myself because I could do way better and I could do way more, even though I'm doing great. That's the thing that trips you up because, the human condition is once you get to a nice spot, smooth it out, back it down, chill. And I'm getting ready to press hard on a lot of stuff. Down in the orchards, this boy said, we were around each other. You would. I was just like, really? You want to fight because you don't like me? Does Art of Holding Company come with H undergrad? Let me see. Let's look. Let's see. I don't think so. Oh yeah, it comes with that. Yep, it does. So Veggios, yes, it comes. Everett Johnson, I bought the equipment to step on services, but now I'm stuck on marketing. J. Harris agreed, don't have your business run you. One of the things I've started doing is taking weekends off. I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but last 2 weekends, I didn't really do any work. Yesterday, I actually did 2 videos, and it was just kind of like, I was looking at numbers, but I'm forcing myself to get this done Monday through Friday because one of my problems with my business is it's tailored around me. And for someone else to come in here and try to start doing some stuff, it'll be a problem. So I got to systemize it and put processes in there. And, last 2 weekends, I've done very well financially because the kids are back in school. I've noticed that my views have gone up on these live streams in the YouTube on the channel overall. It's amazing. But we're getting ready to do some stuff a little differently here. As you see, I wear branded merchandise because I'm building a brand. Because not only are you building a company, you're building the brand. And when you build a brand, people have expectations of the brand. This is one of the reasons how I built this is why I was able to get away with the dominant man, disruptive male, because I've talked about that stuff on this channel for years. So it wasn't like I didn't come to y'all all clean. I didn't come to y'all like a choir boy. Well, Glenda, I go to church every Sunday, and I'm not going to touch big booty, but never. Y'all know good and well that my hands were all over big booties, big booty Betty's butt. So it worked. And how you build your company is how it's going to be received. And this is why you have all of these people getting in trouble because they built their companies or their reputations to be, I'm a clean guy. And when the truth come out that you dirty, 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 all of a sudden they start losing contracts, they start losing people. So this is just another lesson. How you build your company is how you will be perceived. And that's a very important thing for long-term growth and longevity. Because there will be some more stuff that's going to be coming, next month. There's some things I'm working on this month. And I'm telling you what I'm going through as a company owner, as a businessman, to help you and give you insights because you got to put in the work, man. You got to put in the work. And also, when you get coaching or you hire someone, it usually is never going to go like you think it will go. What are these memes like? This is what I think the world sees, and then this is the real me, and there's a radical difference between the two. Because my expectations is if I get a book or a course, if I can pull just a few things out there to make me money consistently over the long term, I'm good. There's some people, if this course don't change their life like that, they wasted their money. I got someone who got mad because I have the child support course. It was like, well, this is designed and optimized for men. And the fact of the matter is, most of the courses are not. There's a few dedicated courses strictly for men, but the majority of them aren't. So she was lying, and that's what I did on the dispute. Because typically, and I can understand a person not wanting to spend money with something that offends them, but I've never lied about what we do here. I've never misled anyone. So when I get those kind of disputes that says items not as described, I fight them and I provide evidence, and I usually win. So we will see. Janita Rodriguez from Compton. That's right. You from Compton. Venus and Serena's old stomping grounds. I follow Rensvia's ribs everybody's off Sunday and Monday. Well, I'm just taking Saturday. I may extend it to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just to recharge. Christian Emerson, I believe for business success, coaching is essential. A live coach can cut the learning curve in half and help you get to the bag much faster. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm getting ready to put together a mentor coaching program. It's not ready because I was going to run it through Money, Income, and Profit. But since the site's down, I'm sitting there like, okay. And this is something else too, another truth. Shit gonna go wrong. I can't I can't remember how many months I had everything go right. I remember a lot of the months stuff just went wrong. I mean, it don't even bother me. Like, okay, it's wrong. How do we fix it? So, stuff's gonna go wrong. You're gonna have problems, you're gonna have situations, and you're not gonna be able to go to your friends because they have no clue what you're going through. So this is why you've got to develop a network of business owners to run ideas to buy and talk. And there's business groups, there's all kinds of groups and stuff that can help you. Because when I get into real estate, because I've been overdosing on bigger pockets and stuff, because essentially for me to really get my stuff running, I got to get myself at 70 to 82% of, of price. So if they got this house on the market for 450, I got to get it for three something, to stick within the parameters and stuff. And I got to get out of my bubble and network with real estate investors because the stuff that I'm looking for is not on the market. I'm going to need to find some wholesalers that's got some good stuff. Stand the man. So my question to you is to build a brand of business without being the face of it. Oh, that's easy. Just never actually be the front person of your company. Just hire people to do that. Me starting this YouTube channel, that kind of circumvented that. All right, G man, appreciate that. Because another thing that you got to understand is branding is so important. And this is why I changed the name from Glendon 007, which was a stupid name, to Hustlers Kung Fu. Because I went back, because I was like, every man's a millionaire. That was just overly ambitious. So I brought it back to Hustlers Kung Fu. Because, see, the thing is, you build a brand. See, everybody wants to think of a super slick name. That's not where the brand is built. The brand is built by the service that you provide people. So Hustlers Kung Fu, because we're gonna have some dope gear this fall. We're gonna have some dope gear. So I'm looking forward to that. At least 5 times a day and twice on Tuesday, a lot will go wrong. I mean, it just does. That's right, Uncle G. I wouldn't buy it from Hustler Kung Fu with someone else selling the courses. Yeah, because I found out. Remember when Valencia used to work here, and I had Valencia get on the camera, and y'all like looking at her, but y'all didn't want her to do a video. It's like, hey, she ain't doing this right. She ain't reading the questions. Even though she was a lovely girl, y'all didn't want her doing it. Ray Kroc said it was the name McDonald's, not the burger. Icy Prophets, I think we've all bought a stupid name. Christian Emerson, man, that's just a big problem for entrepreneurs. When I first started my business, I wish I would join a group of entrepreneurs. When I try to talk to my family and certain friends about my business problems, they never understand. They can't understand because they're in a different spot. They're in a different lane than you. And I don't even bring it up. I sometimes talk to my girlfriend about stuff because she's really smart and she grasps certain things. At one point, she had volunteered to run my Facebook ads, but I was like, no, I'm going to do that. But typically, uh, one of the things that's going to separate you from your other peers is your commitment to personal development and implementing systems and processes. Because really, the difference between a $2 or $3 million business and a 10 to 15, $20 million business is systems and processes. Because when you bring in KPI, key performance indicators, you could bring KPIs into the hiring process. You could bring it into like how someone answers the phone. And this is something that bigger companies do. Like you go to Lowe's and they'll ask you how would you like to be on their list. They won't ask, they like, hey, what's your phone number? They don't ask you if they could have your phone number because they realize that kills conversions. But if they say, hey, what's your phone number versus may I have your phone number, conversions go up. This is kind of the stuff that I pay attention to when I'm out, like why they're doing this, why the cashiers train this way. And this is how the bigger companies do it because these systems and processes. Because you have a company, and if you have a process of answering the phone, well, hey, thanks for calling Hustlers Kung Fu. It's a great day. How may I help you? I guarantee you, if your employees answered the phone like that every time the phone rung, it would create a different impression of your company. Roz Motive. Check out Garetta, their deal making group that meets at 10 a.m. every Wednesday in Norcross. Have a few well connected people in Georgia real estate. All right, appreciate that. Oh, definitely. Oh man, that's a good thing, Antonio Williams. My family has shifted to my business partners. We came from the same places, going the same direction. Now, that's a beautiful thing when the family can get a similar mindset about business. It's very rare. That's a wonderful thing, Antonio, because when you start building, many people build a hobby. Many people don't really build a business because they play it safe. Once they start making some little money, they do one or two things. They start flexing, getting a Lambo, or they go super, super conservative, saving every penny, but not really investing in anything. Awesome systems and processes is why Chick-fil-A is so dominant in the fast food industry right now. Chick-fil-A makes more money per restaurant than any other fast food restaurant, and they're closed on Sundays. So they still make more money than any other restaurant, and they're closed one full day. Chick-fil-A is dope. I mean, it is dope. Studying for the gram. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of that when I get in this real estate thing because I've checked out how it works on social media. First, you must get their attention. And Alex Becker did it, Will Motivation's done it, Omni and the Hellcats doing it. They get the attention by having these expensive cars. Oh man, you could just go ahead and put up my whatever, something Lamborghini, such and such, and that video will rank very well because people are looking for that. But if you just come up and talk about making some money and you don't look like you have any money, very few people are going to listen to you or give you their attention. Anyone interested in doing business with the government via contract? Well, see, I don't deal with government stuff because there's too much red tape. First, you have to get on the vendor list. See, you can't sell to the government unless you're an approved vendor. Go to Google and just look up to it. I don't like government contracts. I feel that they're very limiting. And then there's this 90 days, waiting 90 days to get paid. Not my cup of tea. What's up, Lamode? So I might be doing a little stun for the gram. I'm probably going to get this Porsche because I've been looking at it for a few years. But this is what you have to do because what's going to happen is once I get that first rental property, I'll do a video, walk through the property, tell you what I'm doing, and how I'm doing the legal structure. Stay in the man. Uncle G, I did what you said. I created a service business and have been making decent money for a few months, but it's not scalable. I don't know about hiring employees. I've never managed people. You're gonna have to learn, and that's the only way you're gonna be able to scale that business is hire people. Do you think an estate planning business targeted at baby boomers? Expat crypto, absolutely. It just depends on how you position yourself. Oh yes, every time I go on vacation to buy another truck, folks buy courses and consults. You got to get their attention, Erica. You flying around in first class, hanging out with fancy people, drinking pale champagne. They pay attention to that. I think if you're a seasoned business professional who has a proven track record, stunned for the gram for business purposes, it's totally fine. Can we say Grant Cardone, the dude is a beast? Yeah, the Grant Cardone is where I got part of my business model. Richard Mayfield, my first business has turned out to be a hobby. Just glad I realized it before dropping too much money into it. I'll reorganize it for my holding company. I'm using my hustle to fund my business. Awesome, Jeremiah. Expat crypto, I'm not going to say what I'll never do, but I don't foresee it because I don't really have a space. and putting these events together take up a lot of time and energy. So it just depends. I can't say it. I can say this: it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But I will be working on that because what I want to do is tie in the mentorship to, because essentially here's the situation. A lot of people want to talk to me, and talking to people is very time intensive and it's very hard to scale unless I go out and hire people to talk to people. And that's why I really don't do it that much. So I'm going to try a boot camp where I can train, just like these fitness boot camps where you see two trainers out there and they got 30, 40 people. So they're multiplying their results. Now that's something that makes more sense to me. Make the most with the least, a blank piece of land, 20 minutes from everything will do more than a car. This is something that's funny. Sometimes I would take the truck and find gas station stuff, just start pulling stuff out there. I would always make money, but the time, it was very time intensive. Richard Mayfield, I bought your ladder income book, getting that class of client money plus some Wi-Fi bread. All right. Blind Buddha, I can see it now, drill sergeant. I got a Logitech camera and a Shure mic. I think they use the same mic for the Breakfast Club. Appreciate that. But, essentially, you got to do the work. And a lot of times you're going to do the work alone. And this is one of the biggest problems with people starting businesses. Um, One of the things that kills rookie entrepreneurs is they don't know what business they're in. Let's go back to Ray Kroc. McDonald's was a real estate company and sold burgers. That was the play. McDonald's, it's like because Ray had worked out a deal with the McDonald's brothers. Ray wanted more money. They didn't want to get off the money. So he said, how about if I rent these restaurants to you? So Ray got his money from rent proceeds. Ray was making millions of dollars per month from rents. So that is one of the amazing things about knowing what kind of business you're in. Because this is a training company. And this is how I'm going to set it up and I'm going to keep going forward. Um, what's up, Johnny Walden? So we're going to be about training people how to start businesses, training people how to be better men. And this is where we're going. This is the plan. This is the new year, the new 10-year plan. And also, I meet people who say they don't like 5 and 10-year plans. They just like winging it because it's like you never know what's going to happen. And I would disagree with that because if you read the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Earl Nightingale, Lead the Field, and then you marry this stuff with some massive goal setting, you do know what's going to happen. Barring an illness or something outside of your control, pretty much you know what's going to happen. James Lewis, why didn't you just subscribe, man? Thanks, Diana. Hit that like button because the Hustler Kung Fu brand. I'm gonna explore. I'm gonna explode, make that bigger, exploit that, and I'm gonna pair it with some gear. And then the Dominant Man brand. That's a totally separate brand. Keep a firewall between those two, and we will see the things that we can do because there's so much training that's coming down the pike. There's things I got to work on the rest of the month. Rugged college. I listen to seasoned entrepreneurs on how they would do things differently. Most say start better procedures and processes so they're not in the business. Yeah, because this is why I started taking weekends off because you know I'm the marketing machine and I'm in my business more than I would like to be, but I have to be right now. And just going ahead, like, what's going to happen with these Facebook ads is I'll be able to manage my business because I'll be able to get rid of scale. I'll be able to get the scale that YouTube used to give me for free. I'll just have to pay for it. Melanated avatar. What's the difference? Get the course, man. Get the course. And structure rates. Because I'm looking at your question, and my question to you is: do you have a business that makes money? Do you have a product that you sell? Are you making money? I mean, essentially a small time hustler, you're not going to need what Apple needs. You're not going to need what Alphabet, who owns Google, needs. And this is something else too. As your needs change, you can rewrite the articles of organization for your holding company to reflect your current business. There's some other stuff you can do. But one of the big things is training and mentorship. If you start a company, take some money and get yourself a business coach. Take some money and hire yourself a personal development coach. This will pay off so much more than you would think because as you become better and more efficient, your company will become better and more efficient. Because you have so many people wasting time on the wrong things, not keeping their eye on the ball, not doing the right things. And this creates a lot of problems. So I will talk about the coaching mentor program once I get it worked out because my goal today is to get money, income, and profit back up. And this is one of the things that no one talks about with these internet businesses. Stuff breaks, stuff stops working, and you don't really know what happened because I don't understand. Because essentially, it's a teachable site, and I don't like how they use Cloudflare. Because I remember when I was setting it up, I was like, "This is gonna break," and it did. I like using a traditional way to capture a domain name. Eric Williams, how reaching 100,000 subs affects your business. Other than getting that YouTube play button, I really don't think it's going to affect my business at all, because what will really move my business if I can get these videos to start popping again, where instead of dying out, because they went up a little bit, because they used to die out at like 1,200 to 1,000, and now I've got a few that've gone to 1,600, 1,800, 2,000. So that's really what I need, is for the channel's reach to grow, because there are people out there with 600,000 subscribers, and it looks good on paper, because when you pull out your media pitch kit, you can say I got 600,000 subscribers, but they're gonna push back and say, "What's your engagement rate?" And that's when things fall apart. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is one of the things that happens. Everyone makes mistakes. Well, that's the way they have it set up. And, I may go back to Thinkific for another site. And Tony Williams, you need a Nobel Peace Prize for this channel. Appreciate that, dude. Because once again, I'm not going to change how I present my delivery and the topics I talk about. I know that if I were to do something a little bit more flashy, I would get more engagement. But, interesting lesson I learned from a video I put up: how to start a business with no money. The video did great, but it attracted a lot of the wrong people. So just something to think about. All right, so I will check you guys out later. Be sure to get your free audiobook, links below, and I'll see you guys shortly, so we can all get this Wi-Fi money, get this Wi-Fi bread.